If you love playing MTGO, please make sure you check out my sponsors in the description below. Mana Traders, I've got a sweet discount code. Just head there and you can start playing whatever deck you want. Hey everyone, Matt from Total MTG here and welcome to the second deck tech of the week. So what have I got for you? It's another rotation brew. A great deck that you can take into the next standard, ready to play now, and you don't have to worry about spending money on these cards because none of these will rotate in the next rotation. So it is blue-white Teferi. Teferi being Teferi, hero of Dominaria. This absolute amazing Planeswalker, seeing play in different formats, modern, it's just really, really strong. And this is what, this is probably going to be, now Chandra's going, some might say this might have been the strongest Planeswalker, but I personally felt that Chandra was possibly the strongest one that we had, in current standard. But Teferi, no doubt, will certainly win you games. So Teferi comes in with 4 loyalty. It's a 3 white and a blue Azorius Planeswalker. The +1 is draw a card at the beginning of your next end step. You get to untap 2 lands. That is really good. I mean, in the control deck, that is absolutely amazing because what you want to be doing is not tapping out. You want to be leaving mana up for potential counter spells, draw card spells, stuff like that, which is why the +1 is so good, especially for a control player. The -3 is when you're going to start tucking stuff. Put target non-land permanent into its owner's library third from the top. So they're not going to, you're not going to put it on top. You're not going to put it back to the hand. Obviously, you're going to put it third from the top, which means potentially if you've got a Field of Ruin, which we do, you might be able to shuffle something really good away, potentially. Or you're just going to delay them those 3 turns, which sometimes could be, it could be the matter of winning or losing the game by doing this tuck effect. The -8 is it's one of our absolute amazing win cons. We can get it, we can protect it, we can get to this -8. The emblem, whenever you draw a card, exile target permanent opponent controls. So it's target permanent, everyone. You can get rid of their lands. The -8 and, get this, it's amazing. Really hoping they don't bring anything in the next sets to deal with emblems. I don't think they will. They've never done it. So, well, as far as I know, they've never done it. It's never been since I've been playing Magic anyway. So let's hope they just leave emblems alone. Although a lot of you will probably think, I'd love to get rid of emblems. But personally, I feel like once you can get your emblem, it's not easy getting to some of these emblems. You get up there, you get it, and then for holding out and managing to control your play and get that emblem, I feel like you do deserve to keep it. But that's another story for another time. You can let me know in the chat what you think about emblems and whether you feel like something should be done, but we can deal with them. So let's get on to our creature. I say creature because we have 1 in the deck. And this is where we just splash 1 bit of black. It's blue-white. We're only splashing 1 black for this 1 creature, which is Chromium the Mutable. This is a 7/7 with Flash Elder Dragon. It can't be countered. It has flying. And it has protection as well, because you can discard a card. It becomes a human 1/1. It loses all its ability, but it gains hexproof and can't be blocked. So you could do 20 little attacks with this if you so desire. But then, you really want it as a 7/7 and the ability to protect it, which is why this is such a great creature for us in this deck. Now, it's only one there as a one-off. I do have one more in the sideboard as well, and a couple of other creatures. We're losing some really good cards. We're losing Torrential Gearhulk. The main problem that I think we are losing in control decks at the moment, which hopefully they will bring back in with the new sets, is the card draw. We're losing Glimmer of Genius, Hieroglyphic Illumination as well. Those card draw spells are really good. We've got Divination and, we've got Anticipates that we can bring in to go through our deck. But Glimmer of Genius for me is probably going to be one of the big misses for control decks in Standard. And let's hope they bring something just as good. So we've got 34 spells in total, starting off with Opt. We're going to run a 3 of Opt. Draw a card, scry 1 mana, really good. Late game, we can obviously trigger this, obviously with Teferi. When you draw a card, you can get rid of permanents. So it's going to be good early and late game. Opt is just a really good card. We then have 2 Syncopate. Get onto target spell unless controller pays X. If that spell is counter spell, you get to exile it instead. Really nice. Instant spell, 1X. We can pay it, we're losing Disallow as well. There's a lot of good cards that we are losing, but I still think this deck, even as is really strong. Now, as I always do, I do test my decks, and I didn't, I did miss obviously having a Disallows and stuff like that, but this deck was still managing to win games. And it really, that to me shows that the power of some of these cards that just haven't been used because we've had other ones to use. But these ones can definitely take the place until maybe potentially we get something better. We then have a couple of Anticipates. Like I said, look at the top 3 cards. This was back in Standard and was used all the time. Really good card, Anticipate. I've got it there just as a 2 of. Blink of an Eye is a 2 of as well. We can pay the kicker and draw a card if we want, and it costs 4 mana. But it returns target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. And like I said, if the spell's kicked, you get to draw a card. We could potentially return something, you know, we could return, we're not probably going to return Chrome, but we could return Teferi if it was going to potentially be killed, Raskas or anything like that. We've got ways that we can do stuff with this, and we can obviously blink sank of our opponents that's really annoying and hard to deal with. More counter spells in Essence Scatter. We got a 2 of there, counter target creature spell. And we also have a couple of negate in the main board as well. Counter, you know, any non-creature spell. Like I said, disallow has gone, but what we've got at the moment is cancel, and I don't mind cancel. It doesn't, obviously, it's not as powerful as disallow because it doesn't have that extra ability. Costs the same mana though. Counter target spell, obviously just a little bit weaker than that. You're really hoping that they're going to bring something in like a Supreme Will or a disallow in the next set. But it means I can get my full art councils out at the moment and start playing with these until we do see something better. This might be the best we get, we just don't know. But cancel is in there as a 3 of. Onto a little bit of removal now. We've got Seal Away as a 4 of. It has flash, it ends the battlefield, exile target, taps creature an opponent controls. You know, you basically got to wait sometimes for an attack or for an ability to happen. But Seal Away for 2 mana is a really, really nice card. We also have 3 Ixalan's Binding, ends the battlefield, exit target non-land permanent opponent controls until this leaves the battlefield. And then they can't cast these cards with the same name. Now, cast out, I'm saying a lot of cards that are gone. Ixalan's Binding was obviously used but at a lesser amount in the deck. So all we're going to do is just up your Ixalan's Binding. Doesn't have flash and cycling like the cast out, but what it does have is means you stop your opponents from playing other spells of the same name. So it sort of, you know, it doesn't have that ability, but it has this ability. So Ixalan's Binding is still a very, very nice card. We have 3 Settle the Wreckage there. Brilliant card, Settle the Wreckage. Exile all attacking creatures, player controls. That player may search low for as many basic lands. We have a lot of exile effects in this deck. All we want them now is really to print Path to Exile again. Then we're just set. I can never see that happening though, to be honest. And then we don't have Fumigate, another card we don't have. But we've got Cleansing Nova now. Cleansing Nova, destroy all creatures, destroy all artifacts or enchantments. So, like with Fumigate, we don't get the life gain, the ability of that, but we get a different ability. Not, you know, not worse, it's just different. And it's, you know, it's going to do a job for us. And it gives us the ability to destroy all artifacts or enchantments if we want. If not, we just wipe the board with all the creatures. A little bit more card draw we have here. We've got 2 Search for Us Canters that can help us go through our deck, and then obviously it can flip over, and then we can find a non-creature spell that might really help us out. And we've got a 1 of Divination at the moment. Draw 2 cards for 3 mana. It's sorcery speed. I've told you that we haven't got that instant speed card, you know, card draw like we do with the Glimmers that are really, really good. But I still think we've got ways. We've got Ops, we've got Divination, we've got, you know, Search for Us Canter. We've still got ways of going through our deck. And of course, Teferi draws cards as well. So we're going to get onto the land base now. But don't forget, there's 25 lands in total. But all the numbers of all the cards, or, you know, the configuration of my deck is in a deck list in the description. So please go and check that out. Archer Varaska is there as a 2 of. Another way to draw cards. So we can have this as a 2 of. Because, you know, the pay 5, draw a card. We're probably going to have City's Blessing. We've got lots of lands. We've got, you know, permanents that come down in enchantments and stuff like that that will help us towards it. So we're going to have that as a 2 of. And that's another way that we're going to be able to draw cards. 3 Drowned Catacomb there to tap for the black or the blue. And then we have 4 Glacial Fortress as well. A couple of Field of Ruin there, destroy target. We didn't get, you know, potentially get our shuffle effect that we might need with Teferi if we're tucking something away. You know, it's just, it can be used for that ability as well. And then we have a couple of Memorial to Genius. Another way, you know, another land that's going to draw us cards. You pay 5, that's a lot, but we get to sacrifice it and draw 2 cards. If we're doing nothing else with our, you know, with our mana, draw 2 cards, 5 mana, I'll take that all day. Then we run some basics as well. We got 6 islands there. And we've also got 5 plains, and we have a single swamp. So let's get on to the sideboard of the Blue-White Teferi deck. Like I said, we got 1 more Chromium the Mutable there, just in case we want to bring that back in. You know, you might want 2 of them in the deck. It'd be no harm in having 2. I've seen some configurations that will play 2. We also have a couple of Lyra Dawnbringer. Flying First Strike Lifelink, +1/1. Other angels get +1/1. It's legendary. We don't run any other angels. But a 5/5 flyer for 5 with First Strike, flying, lifelink, absolute, that's a game winner in itself. We also have an extra Essence Scatter in the sideboard, counter target creature spell, and a couple more negate. One more Search for Azcanters there, just in case, you know, they've got more enchantment. They're bringing enchantment, but we want to bring an extra one in because Search for Azcanter is such a strong card. And then we have two Sorcerer's Spyglass. That is definitely hyped up in price at the moment. I've looked online, it's definitely gone up. Sorcerer's Spyglass enters the battlefield, look at opponent's hand, choose any card name, then the activated ability of sources with the chosen name can't be activated unless they're for mana. Great for sorting out Planeswalkers. Really good for us. You know, we're not running full black. We could maybe touch a bit more black to bring one of the best removal spells in. But that's going towards more of an Esper Brew there, but adding Vraska's Contempt. But Vraska's Contempt is definitely a strong card, and maybe we could see in the future developing a little bit more black into this deck. We then have 3 History of Benalia. You know, if we're playing tempo creatures are coming at us, this is a great card to get down. If it's one thing, it's going to give us a blocker. It's going to give us more blockers. And obviously in control decks, you know, when playing control matchups, this is good to come in as well. Because it can give us a little bit of a beta as well. Get those little knight tokens in, give them +1 and just basically attack in. We then have 2 Invoke the Divine. Life gain here, really important with this card. And you get to destroy artifact or enchantment for 3 mana at instant speed. Very strong. And then a 1 more Cleansing Nova. They destroy all creatures or destroy all artifacts or enchantments. So that is the 15 card sideboard. Anything you think would be really good to go in there, always leave in the comments. I do love hearing, you know, sometimes I miss cards. Yes, so many in Magic. You are liable to miss cards sometimes, but I spend a lot of time obviously putting these decks together, and I feel like they're pretty much ready to go, as is this one, ready for rotation UW Teferi. So that was another rotation-proof deck tech, guys. I really hope you like it. You've been loving these rotation brews. Your support has been absolutely epic, so let me say thank you again. I really do appreciate it. If you're new to us, smash that subscribe button. If you like what you see, I do a minimum of 2 tech techs a week, Mondays and Thursdays. And when I'm not too busy with, you know, life and day jobs and stuff like that, I do try to get a video out on Saturday, which I will try and do this weekend. I know a lot of you have been asking for gameplay. Sorry, you know, I just try to get the videos done as best as I can, but you know how hard it is with everything else going on in your life. But I will try my best to get that 3rd one out this week for you, and hopefully get ahead of myself sometimes so I can get some gameplay ones recorded. I've got all my cards obviously from my sponsors from Mana Traders, so I can just record some MTGO games for you, and you'll get to see some of these decks in action for good or for worse. Anyway guys, you lot take care. Thanks a lot for watching, and I will see you on the next video.